Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I'm back. Did you miss me? Let's hang on a minute until we get some people on. Hopefully I can see your comments. I'm a little crooked here, but let me know that you're here. Hold on one second. Let me look over here and see if I can. Hello, good morning. We'll start here in a few minutes. Let me know that you're here. Okay, there we go. Hello, hello, good morning. Okay, there we go. Oops. I want to turn that down so I can see comments. I've been gone for a couple weeks. Trying to get that set up. But I'm back. I was on a cruise for a little while. Journey Beyond the Veil with Anita Marjano and John Holland, and it was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of, good people that got together to talk about near-death experiences, to talk about your loved ones on the other side, and it was truly amazing. So let me know if you're here. I'm looking for comments. And I'm not seeing them yet, but that's okay. All right, I see a couple people are on, but say hello. Hello. So, this is Connecting to Spirit with Stacy. Tuesday Talks at 10:30, where I come to you every Tuesday at 10:30, and we talk about things that maybe you're not comfortable in talking to other people about, whether it be mediumship or your loved one on the other side, gratefulness, meditation, near-death experiences, past lives, things like that. We just sit for a little while on Tuesdays at 10:30, and we talk about them. Well, I talk to you about them. Hopefully I will see your comments and be able to, answer any questions that you have. I'm not really sure why my comments don't always show up, but I'm not seeing them. Anyway, we're not going to let that worry us. I can always answer afterwards. So, I always like to start with my intention so you know who I am and what I'm about. My name is Stacy, and I am a child of God, an evidential medium, and a spiritual healer. And I have the ability to channel spirit using love and light for my higher good and the higher good of those that God puts in my path. I'm not the medium who says, I see death all around you and you're going to be dead in 10 days. My gift, my prayer is always that God, Spirit, and angels bring in the most loving message to help your spirit heal. Most people who come to me are either at a crossroads looking for direction or they want to connect with someone on the other side. Today, this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30, so we're not going to be doing any connecting with spirit or angels. And I was just thinking the other day, good grief, it's been a long time since I've done a live angel card reading. So I need to do that here coming up real soon and get back into that flow. So many things have been going on. So just some housekeeping. Gift certificates are available if you're interested in gifting someone a reading. Just message me. I do have gift certificates that I can send as a gift either to you or to the person that you want to give them to. Just mention it to me. I will be in Bel Air, Maryland, the 27th and the 28th. All privates are sold out, but I do have, I think, one or two seats left in the intimate group reading on the 28th. 11:23 here at Hip Gypsy Emporium. We're doing a gallery reading, and there are still our seats available. December 11th and 12th, I'll be back in Bel Air. Privates are available. Seats are available in the intimate group reading. I've got lots of things that are coming up next year. So March, gosh, I can't remember what the date is, but it's in the events where I will be doing a gallery reading at the lodges at Gettysburg. But there's some other really great things that are coming up. So stay tuned and, watch and share the group as much as you want, and tune in and message me if you want to get a reading. If you want to schedule one, you can always go to my website, Connecting to Spirit with Stacy, and schedule it or get in touch with me. So that is the housekeeping things for right now. I'm not seeing any comments. All right. I'm not going to worry about it. I always say I'm not going to worry about it, but then I'm like, ooh, why aren't 30 comments? I don't know what I've done, but we'll figure it out. So, it's Thanksgiving week. We have Thanksgiving here, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in a few days. And have you ever noticed that when it is the week of Thanksgiving or the November or Thanksgiving Day, the spotlight is always on being thankful? And I've always kind of struggled with, why is it just that one day? Why is it just Thanksgiving week? Why is it just November? Why aren't we thankful all the time of all the things that have been given to us, that we have gone through, that we have walked through? Why do we choose one day, 1 month, 1 week to be thankful? Well, it's because we want to spotlight that. For those who don't think about being grateful of things, it's time for you to kind of just take a step back and look at the things that you have walked through, the things that you are grateful for. And then mentioning it to other people. There's a quote that I wrote, there's a quote that I read by William Arthur Ward that says, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So some people have a hard time saying thank you. It's time that we go thank you. It's time that we see the small things that we are grateful for and continuing to find them and look for them and to be grateful for them. When we tend to think of the things that we don't have, we spiral into this dark hole, this I want. Why don't I always get? Why do these things happen to me? Instead, it's changing your perspective. And there's another quote that says, did you realize that the same water that softens potatoes also hard boils eggs? It's perspective. It's checking the temperature of your water. Choosing to be grateful. You have a choice. You can choose to be grateful for every single thing that you have, or you can choose to be miserable for every single thing that you don't have. You have a choice. But it's saying that when you're grateful for things, when you see the small things, other things will show up. And I think, how do I have this? And I think to myself, this is how I had it. Have you ever had people say to you, and I've had it to me, all the things that I've done for you, and you don't show me 1 ounce of respect, or you're not grateful for this, or you don't thank me for this, and I have to think to myself, what have you done for me, first of all? And then why haven't I shown gratitude to this person? Why have I chosen to selfishly take whatever they have given to me and not show gratitude towards them? So it is taking that step back and doing that selfless act of being grateful, of saying thank you. Even if this person didn't change your world the way they think they changed your world, it's allowing yourself to be grateful for the experience. It's that perspective. Are you boiling eggs to make them hard, or are you boiling water to make the potatoes soft? It's perspective. It's what's the temperature of your water. It's finding that clarity of your gratefulness and that experience that you're going through. And I feel like I'm a little rusty here because it's been a couple weeks since I've done a Tuesday talk, so bear with me. I feel like I've got a lot of things to say, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do that again. So hang with me. There's another quote, and I'm like the quote queen today. It says, I may not be where I wanted to be, but I'm thankful that I'm not where I used to be. So it's looking at where you were and then being thankful that you made it through to where you are now. Had I not experienced the things that I did in my past, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I've gone through a lot of crap in my life. Some I've gone through more than others, and then I've gone through less than others. But it's being grateful for the experience of where you've been traveling from and to. I may not be where I want to be, but I am thankful I'm not where I was. So Thanksgiving, it means celebrating the harvest and the blessings of the past year. It's celebrating the things that are to come. It's celebrating those things that I have been through. It's the harvest, right? And it's the act of giving. Thanksgiving to me is the act of giving. It's being thankful for the things that I've received, but then in turn, returning things to others. So for the past 30 years, my husband and I have always opened up our home at 2 o'clock for Thanksgiving. If you need a place to go, come and break bread with us. And I got to tell you, for 30 years, it has not been a super easy thing to do. Raising kids, trying to buy groceries for you never know how many people are going to show up. But we've always done this. We've always felt it very important to share what we have with others. So I don't feel like for Thanksgiving or for any holiday or basically any day that you should be alone and not be able to celebrate the things that you are thankful for. So at 2 o'clock on Thanksgiving, we've always opened this up. And like I said, some years have been really hard. And when we lived in this small house, one year we had, I don't know, we had like 60 people in a house, and people were sitting on the steps going upstairs and eating, or on the couch, or sitting outside if it was a nice warm day. And we've just always done that. And I remember one year, my husband Jeff said to me, he says, our Thanksgiving is like the fishes in the bread. No matter how many people show up, there's always food. There's always enough. And I always worry if I have enough food, because I never want someone to come to the house that I've offered food for and then there not be any. But there's always been plenty. It's a blessing that we have been able to give this to others. And I'm not telling you this to brag about what I've done. I'm telling you this because we've been thankful that no matter how many people come, there's always enough. There's always plenty. So we're thankful for what we've received and thankful for what we can give. Does that make sense? And we've met some interesting people over the years. I remember one year, Jeff and I were like, who's that? Welcome, and we're glad that you're here, but who are you? Oh, so-and-so told me I could come. Absolutely, but who are you? And so we've met interesting people. We've heard interesting stories. There's been times when we're like, oh my God, why do we do this? And then there's other times where it's like, you know what, this is something that we need to do. Because I just feel like we have been given so much through the struggles that we've been through the past years, that it is our turn to give to others, even if it's just one time a year. So it's looking at the harvest. It's the seeds that we have planted that have grown and they have blossomed so that we can offer it to other people. Lost my train of thought. So being grateful for the harvest. Okay, I talked about that. But I never looked at our Thanksgiving Day like Jeff brought it up until that one time, and I thought, you know what? That's exactly right. No matter how many people come, there's always plenty. So when you think about the harvest, when you think about the things that you've been through, I want you to think about, what have you overcome? What have you been through? Remember the quote I said a little while ago, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm thankful I'm not where I was. So what have you overcome? Some of us have overcome addictions and traumas, and we've come out on the other side. And we've allowed ourselves to not be the victim of that, to be cognizant of what we went through, but to be thankful for where we're at. What have you created? Have you had children? Have you created children? What have you created? Have you created a home? Have you created a business? What have you created? What were you able to do for someone? And even if you do something for someone that you don't see what the outcome is, you don't need to see it. It is blessing others, not for the ego of knowing that you helped someone. It is for just the sheer passion of wanting to help others. Maybe you've started something and you've planted a seed, having a conversation with someone. Maybe you've been able to reach out and give something to them anonymously, or just doing something, the paying it forward, where someone pays for your coffee, or they pay for your groceries, or they just do something for you just because they want to do it. They don't know who you are, and it's not that they don't care who you are, but they just feel like there's a reason why they need to do something for them. Allow that to blossom and bloom within yourself, and then allow yourself to do things for others. Give back. If you've received something out of the goodness of someone else's heart, move that on to someone else. Thankful is being pleased with and relieved, being conscious of the things that you've received. So it is taking a step back, uno momento, and thinking about, what have I received from others? Wisdom, knowledge, thankfulness. You know, people have shown me different things. I've had deep conversations with people. The cruise that we were just on was such a blessing, just to be able to talk to different people in different situations. And there were people from all over the world that were there. Anita and John had people showing up from China and New Zealand and England. Of course, I was representing Pennsylvania. There were a lot of people there, of course, from Florida and Arizona. But they came with the intent of being uplifted, of hearing other people's stories. And it was such a blessing to be on this cruise with so many different people from so many different walks of life and hear all these different stories. So the benefit is received. You may not always see the benefit. Like, you know, some of the things that I learned and heard from other people, you know, they don't know the benefit and how it touched my heart. But that blessing is still there. It's just being grateful that you're able to help someone else. And you just do it just because. And as we think of Thanksgiving and being grateful for things, we think about those that we have lost during the years, whether it be this year or last year, those who aren't joining us for Thanksgiving. But it is remembering the memory of them and the time that you had with them. And one of the things that really touched me when we were talking about when we did these workshops with John and Anita, I had this epiphany. We all think, you know, we've lost loved ones, that loved ones were taken from us. And one of the things that Anita said, especially when you lose someone when they're very young, is maybe they were just too good for this earth and they needed to be back into spirit. And they weren't taken from us. They were given to us for this certain amount of time. And we need to be thankful for the gift that they had been given to us for the amount of time they were. And think about the things that we learned from them and the blessings that they gave to us. You know, my mom was my mom for she was 73, but for 50 years, almost 50 years. And I am thankful for the things that she gave to me wisdom-wise. And, you know, they always say that, how do they say it? That, you know, the person that holds the family together when they pass, that holidays and things just aren't the same. And that was my mom. You know, if she said she was having something, everybody showed up. If I say I'm having something, maybe they show up, maybe they don't show up. You know, it's whatever it is. But I have to continue that tradition of Thanksgiving that Jeff and I started even before we were married. You know what? If you need a place to go, to be here. My mom, her tradition for Thanksgiving, oh my God, she would always bring, and if you read my book, My Head Knows But My Heart Still Hurts, she would always call and say, well, I'll get the napkins. And I would always think, oh my God, you know, because I didn't want anybody to bring a bunch of stuff because there's always duplicates and everything. And I don't do a whole lot of dessert. So it's like, you know what? Bring dessert. Mom would always call and say that she would bring the napkins. And now when I see Thanksgiving napkins or holiday napkins, I have to buy them. And I remember Jeff saying to me, one day you're going to miss that. And he's right. I do miss that. So it is the blessings of the napkins, the small things, those memories that you have for Thanksgiving. It's those things to be thankful for. So there's a song that I woke up with this morning. I don't know why I have. Anyway, that I woke up with this song in my head, and I shared it to Connecting to Spirit with Stacy. And the song is When I See You Again by Wiz Khalifa. And there were words that kept going back over and over and in my head that I wanted to just kind of read to you. It says, so let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold on to every memory as you go on, and every road that you take will lead you home. It's been a long time without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, and I'll tell you about it when I see you again. To me, that's thankfulness. We've come a long way. When I think about some of the friends that I have gone through different things with, that have been with me through different things, and it's not always the same friend that has been with me through that, or family member that has been, you know, with me, or I've been with them through something. And when you think about the words where it says, and it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. That's that quote. I may not be where I want to be right now, but I'm not where I was. So being thankful, being grateful for where you were and where you are now and where you're going. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it to someone. It's expressing the gratitude. Somebody holds a door for you, thank you. You know, your waitress brings you a meal, thank you. Someone gives you a compliment, thank you. Someone does something very special for you, thank you. And then return the favors to other people without expecting something. I get so annoyed, and I'm sorry, but I get so annoyed when I read on Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or whatever whatever social media that you use. I saw someone that had a struggle at the grocery store, so I paid for their groceries. You know what? It's not up to you to say that. But if the other person says, I don't know who this person was at the grocery store, but I was short money and they helped me, thank you. That's what it's about. It's not about shouting all your ego of the things that you've done. It's just doing it. When different businesses or different events come to Jeff and myself for donations, when we donate, we always say to them, we'll donate, but we want to be anonymous. Because I'm not doing it to be seen. I'm doing it because I feel like you have the need and that you need something. If I have it, I will give it to you, but then I'm not going to go to the corner and say, I gave this to so-and-so. That's not who I am. That's not who we should be about. We should just give because we can give. We can't take any of this crap with us. But what we can take with us are the memories that we've shared with others and the things that we've done for others. Because I'll tell you all about it when I'll see you again, right? The things that those who have gone before me, the things that they've done for me that I now see, that maybe I didn't see when they were here. And then I think, oh my God, why didn't I see that? I like to take the time and think about those things that they've done for me. And there was an exercise that I did with one of my mediumship groups that I'm in, where we were tasked to write down all the people in our lives that have passed, that have died. And think about something that they said to us that touched our hearts or meant something to us, or something that they did for us. And I gotta tell you, I didn't realize how many people in my life who have gone before me touched my life. Teachers, certain teachers that have passed. There was a coach who passed away. Oh God, I guess it was last year I saw it, or the beginning of this year. And I hadn't thought about him for a very long time. And when I thought about him, like I remember he would call everybody chief, and he wanted you to call him coach. And he would bring you into his home, and he would eat dinner with them. Or if he was going he was a basketball and a football coach, and if he was going to a game that he knew that you wanted to go to, but for some reason you couldn't get there, come with me. And it wasn't just like the school basketball and football games. It was other games that he would bring you to, and he would teach you different things. And he coached me on trampoline, and it was just kind of out of the blue. A friend of mine was learning to jump on the trampoline and different skills, and she was like, well, why don't you hang out with us? And then after a while, coach was like, why don't you get? I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he would teach me how to do things, and I had a certain amount of trust for him, because I knew that if he said I could do it, then I knew that I could do it. But I hadn't thought about him for years, and this was like, God, what was that, like 8th grade? So it's thinking about people who have walked through your life, those things that you have learned. It's checking your water temperature. Are they softening your potatoes, or are they hardening your eggs? Where's your attitude at? Are you thankful and grateful? Or are you dismissive and think, well, I want more, I deserve more, why aren't I getting this? When you start to see the small things, that's when the other things come. See those gifts and give thanks. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Express gratitude and thankfulness. Celebrate your harvest with others. Be conscious of the benefits that you've received. You know, like I said, I think about all the things that my mom gave to me, and her just being my mom. But then when I started to think about others who have walked through my life, like I said, my coach from 8th grade, like I hadn't thought about him in years. And then when I saw that he passed, all these memories started coming up of how grateful I was to have him in my life. You know, friends who have gone before me. And, you know, there are the ones that make sense, you know, whether they're cousins or aunts and uncles. But like my coach, like, you know, how grateful that I was. You know, and then I became a coach a little bit later for my daughter's cheerleading team. You know, both my husband and I, and we didn't know anything about it, but there were young girls that needed someone to coach them and help them. Hopefully, someday down the road, they'll say, oh, Coach Stacy, yeah, I remember when you taught us this. Or we had fun, because Jeff and I just goofed off, and it wasn't real serious. So, perception and thankfulness. So, Melanie Lee wrote a poem about perception. And this is how I like to look at it. Jeff, my husband, who you hear me talk about all the time, gives me a rough time all the time about how positive I am. He says, oh, I can't believe such and such happened. And I'm like, oh, but what about this? And he always gives me a rough time. Can't you be negative? And there are times that I'm negative, but I always try to find the positive in everything. And I saw this poem that was written on perception, which to me is that boiling water, softening the potatoes, hardening the eggs. You know, what's your perception? So it says, where you see scars, I see art. Where you see flaws, I see incredible beauty. Where you see failures, I see knowledge and growth. Everything is perception. You see with your eyes. I see with my soul. And yeah, it's how you rock and how I roll. So are you seeing with your eyes? Are you seeing with your soul? What are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? What can you offer to others to help them? It goes back to that feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it to them. You know, and we already talked about the hot water, but it's, I'm not where I need to be, but I'm not where I was. What are you grateful for? You know, I can't, I feel like I need to like really express this. Instead of being stuck in where you're not, think about where you were and where you've come and how grateful and how thankful you are, and then help other people get to where they need to be, and they will help you get to where you need to be. So this Thanksgiving, this November, this week, this year, I want you to think about the harvest. The seeds that have been planted, the seeds that you've harvested, how you've grown, how you've helped others, and be thankful for that. And say thank you, and show gratitude, and do for others. So that next year, when we come back around this time, you can think of all the things that you're grateful for. You know, maybe start a thankful journal, or, you know, put them in a bottle of everything that you're thankful for. Every single morning, there should be something that you're thankful for. And at the end of the day, what are you thankful for? Good grief, if nothing else, I'm thankful that I woke up this morning and that I had a roof over my head. You know, I'm thankful for the people in my life. I'm thankful for all of you that you tune in and you watch me Tuesday Talks at 10:30. My clients who come to see me and allow me to bring in their loved ones and to offer evidence of their loved one, they're still around. You know, that message blesses me so much that you trust me to bring your loved one in. Those people who come to Hip Gypsy Emporium and, you know, talk to us and just, you know, come and hang out, or just, you know, come and play. And the festivals and the music that we have, you know, my family, my kids, you know, that have blessed me with grandchildren and, you know, blessed me with smiles along the years, you know, my kids that have, you know, this great sense of humor and this intelligence that just blows me away, that I think, my God, you know, my husband and I made these children and they are such great human beings. I am thankful for that. And they have struggled and I have struggled. But look at where you're at right now. That's where I want you to be. I want you to think about where you're at right now, not where you were. And be thankful. That's my message for the day. To be thankful. It's how you rock and it's how I roll. You may see with your eyes and I see with my soul. It's perception. Where you see scars, I see art. You know? Wrinkles, that's the journeys. That's the path that you've been through. Scars, those are the stories that you can tell. Tattoos, those are the stories that you tell of your life. They're little snippets of your life. My whole arm is Alice in Wonderland, right? Of course, I have long sleeve on. But I've been such an Alice in Wonderland fanatic for so long because, and to me, Alice had to fall down such a deep hole before she found Wonderland. I fell through a lot of deepness and a lot of darkness. But look where I am now, not where I was. So you see scars, I see art. You see flaws, I see beauty. Flaws are not failures, they're lessons. It's that beauty. You see failures, I see knowledge and growth. You're growing. You're learning what not to do again or what to do better. Everything is perception. If you see with your eyes, see if you can see with your soul. Someone on the outside can look beautiful and lovely, but their heart is cold and ugly. And on the outside, maybe they're not very attractive, but on the inside, their heart is beautiful. So see with your soul. So that's my message for today. See with your soul. Be thankful for the things that are around you. So we can tell me all about it when I see you again. You know, you've come a long way since we began. And I want you to tell me all about it when you see me again. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I pray that this message touched your heart. I'm sorry I couldn't see the comments, but I will go back and look at the comments and I'll try and figure out why I can't see comments. I don't know. But I hope you have a very blessed Thanksgiving. Be thankful for those that are around you, even if they are interesting and annoying. You will learn something from them somehow, some way. Trust me. But I pray that you all are living the life you love. You're loving the life you live. If not, you're the only one that can change it. I'll see you next week. Peace out. I love you. I'm thankful for you. And have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.